We have this full moon in Scorpio coming up on May 21st, and it's a pretty intense one because we not only have the full moon in Scorpio where it's sign of debilitation, but it's also going to be very closely joined Mars, which is retrograde in Scorpio, and also Saturn, which is also a intensely pressurized force. So when these things come together, a full moon where we're full of our emotions, Scorpio, which is about, it's actually where the moon is debilitated because it's also a lot of intense emotion, and then we get Mars and Saturn also there, two planets of anger and frustration, which is Mars. That's really compelling us to be more disciplined, and also Saturn, which is about our fears and helping us manage them and cultivate more solitude. You can obviously see where this could be pretty triggering, where we could be sort of triggered by our insecurities and project a lot of those onto others, and let our imagination run away with us. Scorpio in the negative is a sign that's, to use an unflattering term, sort of paranoid about imagined fears, imagining all of the darkness, imagining the dark, sinister possibility of something that maybe isn't sinister at all. This is what Scorpio is about, where we get into these situations where something might not have anything to do with us, but we imagine that it does because we get our feelings hurt, and then we project it onto someone else and lash out and get upset. You may be finding yourself wanting to spend more time alone, for instance. Right now, it's actually something that's happening with me, wanting to just kind of be more introspective and spend more time alone, and sort of, this is the power of Scorpio, and with Saturn and Mars both there, the power of Scorpio is to actually be more self-contained, more self-controlled, get more self-mastery. And those around you might not understand it. They might think that instead of you just wanting to be by yourself, you in fact don't want to be with them. You see the difference between, I want to spend some time, with myself, as opposed to, I don't want to spend time with you. How it can be interpreted that way. So be careful misinterpreting that and then getting upset. Be grateful for those around you who are not misinterpreting that, and give space to those around you who maybe want to take some time to themselves. And especially actually people who are maybe very much like they're into meditation and yoga and these kinds of things, or let's say they're also very highly motivated, like in their work and in their career. This is actually a very good time to be focusing on those things. Scorpio is really a sign where we want to be dedicated to something higher than our desires, than our personal desires. This is why Scorpio, like people who have a lot of Scorpio energy in their chart, are often very motivated and ambitious to, toward their career and things like that. So if you're around people who have that kind of ambitious nature, give them some space. And it's a good time for you to also be more ambitious yourself. So again, these kinds of things are important right now. We're feeling a lot of it. And especially on the full moon, these things get really amplified, and we can get quite triggered when we're just measuring people by what we get from them and what we want from them. And again, I've said this many times, this is why Scorpio is very good for things like friendships and work and things that are higher than just our own desires. The real problem with Scorpio, and I'm not just saying Scorpios, but the Scorpio energy in us, is when we are looking for others to fulfill our desires and make us happy. Scorpio is actually the insecurities that develop as a result. It literally comes after Libra, where, oh, I'm so happy we're together, but if you don't make me happy, then I'm going to get upset. Then all my vulnerabilities come out. This is what Scorpio is. It's that sign of vulnerability. And it comes after we get that strong hook and that strong hit of Libra energy, which is the joy of relating with someone, especially like a romantic partner or some other kind of person. So when we take all those desires out of the equation and someone is just like a friend or someone or something that we want to be in service of, something that we want to empower, Scorpio energy is very strong. It's where we have unshakable faith, unshakable devotion, loyalty, strength, courage, all of those things. So the way to really get the most out of it is, just observe yourself and observe your tendency to want to be attached to something that you're afraid is going to get taken away. This is when the negative quality of Scorpio comes out. And instead, take all that intensity and concentrate inward on the source of it, which is you, which is your vulnerability, which is your insecurity. And those insecurities are no one's fault. No one makes you look at it that way. That's your thing, totally. 100%. And it's 100% your job to manage it and not project it onto somebody, try to control the situation because of it, feel like a victim as a result. And it leads into all of that. Well, first you said this, now you say that, you're mistreating me, or whatever it is. So be very aware of that.